Hi.
So, Ajada, you are a millennial, and I was
Yeah.
sharing with them that you do not have any children. As we're talking, please put your takeaways. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about safeguarding our children while making sure they have a voice. And I want you to put your takeaways from any of the shows, any of the episodes that you have seen. What is one of the biggest takeaways that you got from what was said from the different people that we've had on the show, on the Light It Up TV on the podcast? What is one of the biggest takeaways, and then why was that something that stood out to you? Let us know in the comments. Ajada, you are a millennial, so I wanted to get from you. You don't have any children, right? But tell us what it is that you do, the work that you do with children, though.
So I work with I did work in a charter school, third grade.
Uh-huh.
I don't do that anymore, being that music is taking over a little bit more. But I music, and currently I give vocal lessons to students, because they're not all children, but they're students. But most of them are under 21, but they're on the spectrum. So
Okay.
It's so interesting because I want to kind of start with the takeaways, because I don't have children, but I do work with them. But my being in music and entertainment, it was significant for me watching the past episodes, because I'm always scrolling. Social media is a full-time job with business, so you're always scrolling. And so I had to kind of manage my screen time, because that was also one of the things that was emphasized. One of my takeaways also came up in one of my lessons with one of my students, and a lot of children are actually not vocal about what it is that they are taking in. They just kind of take it in and they accept it for their reality or their truth. Question it, they're just kind of like, this is what I saw, so this is fact. And so it was really, really interesting that my student, she came in and she's very open and very boisterous about how social media affects her and how being on the internet affects her reality. And she was that to me. Now, like I said, most children that are not on a spectrum, they just kind of keep it to themselves. But fortunately, she had parents who are, believers, and she kind of comes in, and it's more like a therapy session. She comes in. She sings about how she's affected by not only social media and the reality of what she's living, and seeing other kids and other young teenagers on there, and how they're able to put up. But I had to explain to her that social media is a filter. People post on social media what they want you to see.
Because what is it that you were saying? I don't mean to cut you off, but you share with me something that she said when she sees the stuff that it makes her feel. So what is it that she said?
She says it makes her feel depressed, because she can't. She feels like she can't do what other people are doing. How come this person this and that, and it's not fair? And she just constantly was comparing her life. And even as a young teenager, 16-year-old on the spectrum, she has this reality of like, this is what's happening to me. And got a chance to kind of talk about that, and it was really, really enlightening for me. And this just happened just yesterday. Enlightening for me, how I had to just kind of explain to her that you can't look and compare yourself to anything or anybody. That is the enemy. And like I said, unfortunately her parents are believers, so I can't talk to her like this, because sometimes when it comes to teaching, you have to with that. But yeah, she did express that to me, and it was really, really an eye-opening experience.
Wow. I like what you said when you said, and Christina noted that when they do not question it at all, they take it as fact. And that's what happens with a lot of our children. And guess what? If it's like that for someone that's a teenager, can you imagine someone that's younger and seeing all of that, right? If we don't give them the right voice or allow them to, and we make sure that they have the right voice and that their voices are heard and their voice is not coming from something that's trying to be a detriment to them, that the enemy is using to harm them and attack them. When we can make sure that they're not taking in anything that is harmful to them as a fact. And I think that I really appreciate you sharing, and that was really good. And I guess that goes along with what you saw when on the picture. Is I think that's what you were saying when you saw that picture, that it related to that of just what social media does. Is that correct?
That is correct. When I saw the picture, it was scary, but it was it gave me the perspective of how the enemy can be on both sides of the screen.
Wow. Can you put the picture up, Christina, for us?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you're looking at, but it's also in your ear and kind of infiltrating your thoughts and what you're portraying to be your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And that, but you have the tool of social media are now pushing the idea of influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's break down the word influencer. I saw this recently, breaking down the word influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And how it kind of has the word flu in it. It's something that you catch, you pick it up, whatever.
Wow.
And it affects the inner part of the child. And I thought that the word influence being broken down.
Wow.
Wow. It's like it really, and people are getting these platforms, and when you see somebody in front of a camera, you automatically think they are like, the holy grail of this information that I'm getting.
I'm gonna stop you right there, because you just said influencers, and you broke the word. You said you heard this word being broken down. Flu, something that you catch. So whatever they're putting out there, they are creating it so in a way that they know is going to catch the attention of the children. And then you just said that it not only just catch their attention, but catch their inner parts.
That's right here. If you can get your mind,
wow,
that is it. And so now they're caught stuck in a battle of battling what is their voice, what they are being taught versus something or someone else that the enemy might be using to get.
They can't distinguish the difference. That is so good. Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And I just want to touch on what Selena was saying. There was just a bill passed in New York yesterday called the HV3 bill.
Yeah. So Ajada is in New York, everyone, so that you'll know. Go ahead.
Yes. So it basically directs any social media companies to delete the existing accounts of children under 14. And then even if you are 15, you still need the consent of an adult because of, like Selena was saying, the suicide rates and how our children are
very good.
Surprised because New York, they'd be like anything goes, but
right.
Very, very surprised that not delete the existing accounts for children under 14 for social media. They can be sued and fined up to $40,000 to $50,000 per account. So I thought that was really, really good for a change, something that happened. That was really good.
Wow. For that to happen in New York City, it is probably something that is a big issue that they don't want to be sued for. Thank you so much, Ajada. Thank you so much for sharing your insight as a millennial. We appreciate that. Thank you.